before we get in this episode, can you do us a favor? Will you go ahead and subscribe to the channel?
Will you ring that notification bell?
And if you would, give this video a like. Well, enough of that mumbo jumbo. Let's get to the episode.
Let's talk developmentally speaking, glow up, and connecting through wrestling.
Hey everybody, I'm Morty.
And I'm Brian.
And on today's episode of Connecting Through Wrestling, we have the king of the American roadside himself, the Carpetbagger. Jacob, how's it going?
Hey, you all.
Oh, he said the thing. That's the thing that he says. He said that. Yeah. So, Jacob.
Yes.
We've had a past in wrestling.
Yes.
And I ask everybody the same question that has had a past in wrestling. And that is, what made you want to get into professional wrestling?
What made me want to get into professional wrestling? I obviously it's a childhood thing of, obsessed with wrestling. I think, the things that I love about wrestling, I think is, the storytelling, the characters, more so that, the in-ring stuff's great, but I think I've always been more drawn to, the storylines, the big moments and things like that. Just kind of, it's always kind of a form of entertainment. It was just completely onto itself. Like nothing really is equivalent to wrestling.
Right, absolutely. I know you and I had about an 8-month long angle, probably.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. You cut my leg open wide.
legitimately put you in the hospital.
Yeah. So going over that, we were in the back, and Jacob was like, "You know what? I'm going to take out a knife and cut you across the leg."
Well, sadly, it wasn't too far away from
that. But so, as a child, who were some of your favorites?
I remember really like I think the first, obviously I grew up in the Hulk Hogan era, so that was during that era, it wasn't a matter of who was your favorite wrestler. It was who was your second favorite wrestler, because your favorite had to be Hulk Hogan.
Mm-hmm.
So I followed wrestling from the Hulk Hogan era up till now. All-time favorite, probably Mick Foley. I was a little bit older at that point, but the Mankind character, especially when he first debuted as a really dark character, that really spoke to me.
When he was pulling his hair out.
Yeah. He legitimately pulled. You could see his bald spots where he would pull his hair out.
So I'm assuming you're one of those that like the scary Doink over the happy Doink.
Oh my gosh, Doink! Yeah, Doink. One of my absolute favorites. I to this day think that I would put Scary Doink in my top 5. I think it was just it's so crazy. Whoever thought we need to flip him babyface? What? Let's turn Pennywise babyface. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So did you go into any events when you were younger, back in the golden era?
I remember went to my first live event in the early '90s. I remember it was headlined by Ric Flair versus Bret Hart for the title on top, and then I remember Macho Man versus Jake Roberts was also on the card. And I remember just getting there at the I was almost nervous being in the building, and then seeing the actual just seeing the ring right there was surreal to actually see it, with my own 2 eyes.
Absolutely. I remember the first time I went to a show. It was a local OVW wrestling show, and you see it on TV, but then you see the actual ring, and it just feels totally different.
Yeah,
because you're like, oh, this is actually happening right here. And the connection that you get with and I'll say this forever, you get so much more of a connection at a live show than you do from watching it on TV.
Yeah. And it's not as big as what you'd think. That's what the first thing people always say.
The ring is smaller.
Yeah, the setup when you're in that bowl setting.
Actually,
yeah.
If you go back and watch old WCW, the ring is oddly small.
Yeah.
The WCW is what, 18-foot rings?
I think they use a little smaller ones from time to time
16?
too. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So the same size ring we were in, Jacob.
Oh, really?
Believe it or not, that would be the size that WCW used.
WCW ring?
Yeah.
Big Show
WCW.
flying off that top rope. Did you ever go to any WCW or was it all WWF?
I've been to WWF shows and independent shows. Um, I like as far as like live events, I actually had was the year's escaping me now, of course, but the year where Steve Austin won King of the Ring
Okay.
in Milwaukee, I was there when he first gave the Austin 316 speech. I was there, and then after that, I went to
Is that like
WrestleMania.
97?
Sounds about right.
About 97?
And then I went to that WrestleMania where he wrestled Bret Hart in the submission match with the double turns. So I went to those two were like the I think those are the only two pay-per-views I've ever been to. So I think that's pretty. If you're gonna go to two, I think I lucked out there. Got pretty lucky.
For sure.
You're overdue for a WrestleMania.
I am. I was supposed to go in 2020, and then a funny thing happened.
A funny thing happened on the way to the WrestleMania. Yeah.
And they were like, and they hadn't even like canceled. They waited till the last possible minute to cancel it in 2020. It was
You're like, Vince McMahon, I'm not canceling, damn it.
Yeah. It's like the NFL with that recent injury. At the
that was great. That's I'm in Rochester right now as we're speaking. So
right.
that's hour and a half Buffalo's away. So that was like a big deal here.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're about an hour and a half away from Cincinnati. So
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. It was pretty huge. The NFL they really were pushing like, they're like, get him off the field. Let's do this. The guy's laying there dead, man. Like they're trying to bring back his heartbeat. Come on.
Yeah, CP. I think once you enter the realm, I mean, it's one thing getting your leg broke or your bell rung, but like when you're doing life-saving CPR on the field, I think that's when
yeah,
a little different. But then again, we all know what Vince thought when somebody died on his show.
Oh man, that's the piece. That was like at the time when it happened, I wasn't surprised that they went on, but like looking back at that, I can't believe they went on with that.
Right, it's crazy. Crazy
so
to think.
When did you start going to independent shows? Was it before you started your YouTube journey, or how has that differed since you do it since you're in the public eye now?
It was. I just started like I would just see. I would see like black and white flyers posted around town, and I'm like, I gotta see this. Like I hadn't been to I hadn't been to a wrestling show in like 10 years at that point. So I just started going to very small shows at like the Armory, the Armory and places like that. And just I love the idea, and and it kind of, I think that, and then that's that you see where like more normal looking people were doing it. Maybe gave me the hint in my head. Maybe I could be involved in some way.
So, were your first, like not your first, but were those independent shows in North Carolina, or did you find them on? Well,
yeah, I went to some independent shows in Franklin, North Carolina.
So, most people that watch you know that you were in Supreme Wrestling.
Yes.
But there was also another company based out of, was it Georgia?
Yes.
What was it called?
It was called TAP.
TAP, that's right. And what did you do there?
I actually got involved with there was another independent show before that where someone who was this was actually after I started my YouTube channel, and just someone who was a viewer of my videos told me, oh, come out to the show, I'll give you free tickets, we'll have a good time. And I emailed him back. I'm like, could maybe like someone kick me in the face or something? and so that kind of got the wheels turning. So he had his heels beat me down, his main heels beat me down after I came out. So it was a lot of fun.
So roughly after that, you got that message. How long was it before you got an email from me?
Not long, not long. I was started doing the tap shows. It kind of spawned off of that incident, and then yeah, pretty soon after that, I think you had emailed me about Supreme.
Yeah. So I remember, and you know, this has been long enough now. I remember doing the videos that day with you, and how I was trying to hide because you know we were going to be enemies on the show,
Yeah, yeah.
and most of your followers, your subscribers, your viewers, whatever you want to call them, they just fell into the storyline, did they not?
Yeah, people got really invested, and I was a little taken aback by how many people thought that wrestling was a shoot. Like we did ridiculous stuff. Like we did an angle where Morty stole my phone and was live streaming on my account, and
On my
people
couch.
apparently did you? Yeah, no, was it my?
It
No, you
was
did them on
your phone, my couch.
your couch, yeah. And I was literally sitting next to him while he was doing it. And people were contacting my wife, like asking if they should call the police.
Yeah, if you look at the Colonel Sanders long lost clone video, there is a moment where you see my shoes, and there is a moment where you see the reflection of me in a window as we were walking up to where the guy ran the ink press.
Oh man, we're breaking kayfabe right
Like
away.
I'm like, I wonder if anybody's going to know, and nobody noticed it. So if you're watching this now, go back, check out the Colonel Sanders long lost clone video, and look in the window of the door, and you'll see me walking.
So could you imagine if you had cut Carpetbagger instead of him cutting you, the way that his fans,
Oh my god.
what would have happened?
I would have had death threats probably. I mean, I there was on another channel on Exploration Unknown, a good friend of Jacob and I, John Turner. On his channel, we did a thing where he was investigating at a bridge, and Creaties Jeff was there as well, and we did this spot where basically I hit them with my golf club, and people were calling the police.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because they were live streaming at the old abandoned bridge.
Yeah.
You like came out of the shadows with your golf.
It was so theatrical. Like, if it's wrestling, you've got to be theatrical. And people still called the police. Like there was in the live stream chat. It's like, I'm calling the police right now. Yeah, me too.
Like it felt weird, but at the same time, like it felt good. Like wrestling. I mean, you're never really going to get back there, but wrestling is, I think, better when people believe, at least to some degree.
If you could suspend your disbelief,
Yeah,
just for the hour and a half to 2.5 hours you're sitting there watching, it's so much better. It's so much better to enjoy, and that's why like the best fans for me are the kids, the children. They're the ones that they get behind you or they hate you, and it's
Yeah.
When with against Jacob in Madison, I was the good guy, and Jacob was the bad guy. To all of Jacob's fan, I was just the devil himself. The funny part was Jacob was cutting heel promos. All of his promos were heel promos, and at Supreme they showed the heel promos, but he did the heel stuff in between and cut it out to show the good stuff to everybody else.
So when I posted on my channel, it would we edit it. It would basically edit to make me the baby face, and then the people on my channel never saw the full promos that would play.
It was beautiful
at the shows.
It was so good. And then also I took over Jacob's channel for one video, which was, people got upset about that too. It was pretty awesome.
This means you're doing your job.
Yeah. So, what made you pick the Stone Cold Stunner as your finisher, which it wasn't called the Stone Cold, just the Stun as your
Uh,
finisher.
I don't know if you remember, but you told me it was really easy to do.
I guess that was the reason why. It 100% is really easy to do. So
Yeah,
for
you got to
sure.
grab someone and sit down. I still managed to botch it though.
I didn't get hurt. I mean, I think in our angle, the only real botch was probably the leg injury.
Well, it's pretty big botch.
Yeah. So, if you could do anything else in the world of professional wrestling, what would it be?
I would love. I would, like I said, just the creative aspect of wrestling kind of what drew me into it. So I would love to be able to. And when me and Morty did our angle, we were given pretty much free reign to do whatever we wanted. But I would love to just to be more part of the whole creative process. From the top to the bottom of a card, I think would be really fun.
That's always what I've been most interested in. It wasn't on screen; it was always behind the scenes and like build a product start to finish.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
and Morty just likes to steal the show.
Uh, I've helped book, I've helped write stuff, but yeah, I do like to steal the show. That is real. That's part of it, I
No,
guess.
you've created some weird characters, haven't you, Morty?
I
With
have
the fat chick thrillers and
the Lady Killers.
the
Yeah,
lady killers.
yeah, yeah. They're originally called. They were Clyde and Cletus, and it was the CC Lady Killers. And the whole idea was that they would be dressed in full morph bodysuits. And it was originally made. The gimmick was originally created for Johnny Justice and Dino Stephanopoulos to be able to do another gimmick just to get extra ring time.
Mhm.
And the whole concept of it was they were going to be um, heel jobbers, but they were going to come out and hit on all the larger women in the crowd. So to
Pujami
mostly,
Playboys,
huh?
like the Great Khali, the Pujami Playboys.
Yeah, basically, they were going to be good guy, baby face to most of the women. I don't, well, I say most, but to the women, and then the guys in the crowd, the boyfriends and the husbands would hate them. And it turned out it didn't go the way I originally planned. They just ended up turning into goofy guys that dance with all the ladies in the crowd and
But
all
they're,
that.
they're massively over. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean they were massively over. It ended up being more of a happy, fun, goofy thing than what I originally intended to be. But it worked out really well. Um, it ended up being and multiple people have played the characters, but Leon Elliott used to play it a lot, and so did Angus. But that they both got canned. I don't think they even do the CC Lady Killer gimmick anymore. But it could come back as somebody else for sure. We'll put Jacob under the morph theory.
I'm too distinguishable from the shape of my body.
I mean, maybe. I do have a picture of you wearing some of Eric Draven's old tights.
Oh yeah, he had the
The
Jeff Jarrett. What do you even call that? Like Jeff Jarrett used to come out where he had the neck with the four like
Yeah.
suspenders
Mhm.
in front.
We just call it the Jarrett straps because he was the
Jarrett
original one
strap.
to do it. Yeah.
Oh, weird design.
So, um, I mean, I know this answer, but some people watching might not. What championships have you held?
The Supreme was oh gosh, the Supreme Lightweight Championship,
Yeah, the junior heavyweight, I believe.
Junior Heavyweight.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah. Um, so there are some people that say that the weigh-in for that wasn't true.
yeah. There's rumors that I may have switched out with my teenage daughter and let her take the scale instead, but
Right, but you can't confirm or deny that.
I still stick by the fact that I'm 130 pounds.
Okay.
It's the same with Crash Holly. He weighed in at over 400 pounds.
Doesn't Danhausen do that now? Doesn't Danhausen weigh 500 pounds or something?
He weighs a lot, yeah. Sure. So speaking of Danhausen, who is your current favorite wrestler?
Oh, oh my gosh. I am into Danhausen. I'm not sure what exactly what they're doing with him now, but probably Bray Wyatt, probably my favorite as far as current wrestling.
So what I'm learning is you just like the creepy guys.
Maybe I'm drawn to the creepy gimmicks.
Yeah. So are you one of the members of that group with Uncle Howdy and all them?
I don't know what's going on. I think he's maybe the first person to just feud with himself. I think
so that's exactly what someone would say if they were secretly a member of that group. So you've heard it here, folks, that Jacob the Carpetbagger is actually Uncle Howdy. We figured it out. Yeah. So if he starts saying howdy y'all instead of hey you guys, hey you all, I'd say hey you guys, hey you all, it would be a hint. So look out for that in some of the future videos. Howdy y'all. If he has any white rabbits going across the background of his videos, you'll know what it's all about.
What are QR codes?
Yeah.
If you're in the area, you got to come to the Squared Circle Expo this year. It'll be a lot of fun in Indianapolis.
I have, and I'll tell you what. Like I definitely want to do a wrestling convention at some point. I've not really been to a true wrestling convention. I'm worried it would wrestlers. They don't want you just shoving a camera in their face. From what I understand, I think they,
you'd have to pay them most likely.
You have to pay. I would go broke unless I just picked one wrestler.
We'll just attach Rip Rogers to your hip, and then you're good, bud.
Yeah, if you come with us, Rip, you can walk around with Rip, and
you have to bleep a lot out, but
Right.
Like he trained Brock Lesnar. Let me film you for free.
Yeah, like
he'll tell him. He'll be like, "He ain't paying you no damn money."
Yeah, that's exactly what he'd say too. But if I were you, I wouldn't approach Tony Atlas for.
Oh, you're still on this Tony Atlas kick?
What did Tony Atlas do to you?
He pissed Morty off bad. bad.
It is what it is. I mean, come on, so I walk up there and he was like, "You guys ought to be interviewing people," and I'm like, "Well, we're here just to promote the podcast right now." I said, "We've thought about doing that in future times." I said, and the lady with him was like, "Well, how much do they usually charge people to do that?" I said, "I don't know. We've never done that for that reason." And she was just like, try to get money off us. And then at the same time, this kid that worked for the venue walked up with a snack cart, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, "Would you guys like anything?" And Tony Atlas was like, "What you got on there?" And he's like, "Well, right now we just have snacks. The actual food's being made will be ready in about a half hour." And he goes, "Well, actual food, what are you going to have? You going to have chicken or what?" He goes, "No, I'm going to have hot dogs." And he goes, "Hot dogs? Ain't nobody going to want to buy a damn hot dog." And I'm just like, dude, this kid is just doing his job.
He was cutting a promo on the kid. Morty's in the corner getting hot.
I'm like, this is ridiculous. This kid just works here.
Morty immediately wanted to go take our card back.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry that he can't go back to the back and rustle you up a quiche. I mean, what the heck do you want? But it is what it is.
But yeah.
Tony,
Brian, got any more questions over there? I mean, over there, Brian, you got any more questions?
Well, what's the future of the Carpetbagger looking like here?
It's wide open right now. I actually went a full year without sleeping in one bed for more than 2 weeks. So pretty much just been wandering.
Mm-hmm.
So no end in sight.
That's rough. Like that. I don't know how you do it, but I also know that that's just how you're wired. You go. So I do think that Supreme Wrestling needs a return
Oh.
pretty soon of the Carpetbagger. I mean, I'm sure you've got that wrestling gear somewhere.
I do.
Yeah.
Maybe it still fits.
I mean, it's meant to stretch. It's made out. So you'll be okay. But yeah, I mean, we have shows in Seymour now. If you'd like to come do one of those shows, let me know. I'll give you a list of dates.
Awesome.
I'm sure there's other things that we can put together sometime.
Sounds good.
But yeah, so do you have any idea of what your next video is going to be coming out or anything?
I'm actually taking as we speak. I'm actually taking a week off, which is not something I normally do.
Well,
So
good for you. Good for you because
open slate.
I noticed the post that said that you'll see us all soon. So I was like, good for him. Good for him. He actually didn't take a week off because he's doing this video right now. So
yeah,
I can't stop.
he just can't stop.
Well, we appreciate you coming on.
Oh, thank you for having me.
I know you're a busy man. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
We'll talk to you later, buddy.
Awesome. Talk to you later.
Hey everybody, it's Morty.
It's Brian.
And thank you for watching today's episode of Developmentally Speaking.
If you could, please click that subscribe button.
And don't forget to punch that bell icon so you can get notified whenever we go live or drop a new video every Monday. Well, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you on the next
Developmentally Speaking.